Hey guys, welcome back to the workshop. Our project is converting this 1989 Saab turbo convertible from an automatic into a 5-speed, and if all goes well, today's the day we pull the engine. Now, I'm not a professional mechanic, so I'm following all the steps on engine removal from the Bentley manual. So I've already removed much of the wire harness. I've disconnected the exhaust system. I removed the piping associated with the turbocharger. And by the way, you can look for another video called Turbocharger Basics to see how all that works. I've also removed the radiator. Not called for, but it gives us more room to work, and I plan on replacing it anyway. It's going to take a few hours of prep before you're ready to lift your engine. It's nothing terribly difficult, but there are a number of wire harness connectors, lines, and hoses attached to the engine that you will need to disconnect. Label each one of them carefully. I couldn't figure out how to disconnect the automatic transmission shift cable. After fighting it for really about an hour, I got frustrated and pulled out the angle grinder. I mean, since I'm putting in a 5-speed, it's not necessary, right? I also cut the power steering fluid line because I've got one that's going to be replaced when the same part comes out of the donor car. Again, no big deal. My AC wasn't working, and I'm a top-down kind of guy anyway. AC just doesn't matter to me. So as you can see, I completely removed the air conditioning compressor along with a bunch of lines and hoses. Removing the oil cooler lines at the oil filter housing, well, that's a little bit awkward, but with patience and your 16mm wrench, you'll get it out. Saab built a dedicated lifting point into the front of the engine, and I extended a bolt from the air conditioning compressor bracket at the back to create a lifting point there. All in all, it worked out pretty easily. There are 3 engine mounts to release. Follow the steps in the Bentley manual, and that's pretty simple. My turbo automatics plumbing is more complex than the engine I pulled from the non-turbo 5-speed donor car, so there were a few surprises, but as you lift the engine, just keep a sharp eye out for hoses and lines that are still tethering the engine to the car. Once we started lifting, the engine and transmission assembly actually came out pretty smoothly. And while it's out, I plan to install a new head gasket, timing chain, and power steering pump. The starter motor and alternator from the old donor car were professionally rebuilt. They're sitting on the shelf waiting to go back in. So I'm going to consider this a pretty good day, all in all. We got the engine out with no major disasters. Lots to do here in this grimy engine bay. I'm going to pull the steering rack and send it out to be reconditioned. But now really the project moves inside the car. We've got to remove much of the interior so that we can install the pedal assembly, putting a clutch where there wasn't one before. Lots to do. It'll be fun though, looking forward to it, and I'm glad you're watching. So thanks again. Subscribe if you'd like to have updates as new videos are posted. A like and a comment's always a good thing. We'll see you next time around.